Welcome back to Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? Shannon Mackey's with us. Mr. Von Temsky came from Europe via a little bit of time in Australia, and he was killed in the land wars of 1868. You are at $32,000. That's safe. That's yours. Doesn't matter what happens from here on in. You've got $32,000, which I think you told us before the break. That's your student debt.
That student loan gone.
Just like that.
With a little bit to play with as well.
Brilliant.
Which is nice.
So if nothing else happens, you've done brilliantly well tonight, eh? Good on you.
I've done well enough.
Okay, but you want $1 million, of course. Of course.
Of course.
Of course. So you now, along with the $32,000, which is guaranteed, you've now got that switch, which simply means you don't have to use it now, but at any time, throw the question out. We'll give you another one. Yep. Okay, let's have a look at a question for $64,000. Robert Mapplethorpe was a prominent 20th century American in which field? A, architecture. B, fashion design. C, photography. D, nuclear physics.
Long time ago, I remember seeing something about some dodgy photography. It was the Mapplethorpe collection. Robert Mapplethorpe, photography. I'll lock in C.
Final answer?
Yeah.
Lock in C, photography. Don't think you'd call it dodgy personally, but C, photography's right. Black and white photos of celebrities and male nudes.
Fair enough, I was about 8 at the time, so...
So here we are at 64. You've still got switch and play. We're aiming now for $125,000. Let's have a look at the question. How many African nations have coastlines on the Mediterranean Sea? A, 4, B, 5, C, 6, D, 7. How many African nations have coastlines on the Mediterranean Sea?
Just looking at the map of Africa in my head, so I'm sort of thinking, assuming that it starts at Egypt. Then we've got Egypt, Libya, Algeria, Morocco, oh heck, Lebanon. It would be a little bit of a guess. I don't know if I want to use things. I don't know if I want to use that switch straight away because I think this is something I could probably nut out. I'm stuck between two different numbers here.
What are the two you're stuck between?
Looking at 5, I can see Egypt. I believe Libya is right next door to Egypt. Looking across to Algeria, Tunisia, and Morocco. I am unsure as to whether there is a 6th, depending on at which point they stop the Mediterranean.
So you've got 5?
I've got 5.
So you think you can rule out 4?
I would be terribly surprised if it was 7, but terribly surprised.
You think you can rule out 4 and 7?
I think I can rule out 4 and 7. And I know I've got my mate Rob sitting at home who's just got an atlas in his head and he'll be screaming at me. Right, 5 or 6. Egypt, definitely. Libya next door to Egypt. Algeria. Tunisia. I think I might take a chance on this one, Mike. If I go from 64 down to 32, so be it. But
and leave a lifeline?
Yeah, that's the one that's dragging me back, I think. Maybe if I get through this one, I've still got it there for a really horrible question, or use it now and maybe get something fantastic.
So your thinking is you'll take a punt, lock one in. If you're right, you're aiming for $250,000 with switch still in play.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Cool.
That's pretty much it. I suppose I have to lock something in before we look up there again, don't I? We're
not looking anywhere till you lock one in. If you win $125,000, does she get more than a couple of undies?
I'm always open to negotiation. Always open to that. Egypt. I just can't think of any other countries that are up there, to be quite honest. And it's 5 or 6. I know that Morocco is right out on the right out on the west. I'm assuming that it still counts as part of the Mediterranean. This could all end very badly, Mike, but let's go 5.
Final answer?
B, final answer.
Lock in B5. Big call. So the strategy was to lock this in. If you got that right, you're going for $250,000 with the lifeline still in play. Was that the general plan?
Yeah, it was. That's the hope. That's the hope.
I'll tell you in a moment. Back after the break on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire?